Big Brother. Big Brother. Oh my days. Ladies and gentlemen, listen. Right now, right here and now, I will give anything just to get into Big Brother's head, get inside his mind, and just to discover what exactly is at play in there. Because the sort of gambit mission that Big Brother actually issued to his two gambits today, I am still baffled at it. I mean, don't get me wrong, I'm super excited because it is literally the same mission given to both FLORA and AIKOU, and Big Brother expects them to actually follow the same instructions to execute it. And oh my God, this is such a thrill. Inside my head, I am somersaulting, I am doing jumping jacks, and I'm just overall excited because, listen, if you were a part of our YouTube live conversation, I think about 2-3 weeks ago, that's week 3 of the show, you would have been a part of our conversation where we analyzed the personalities of these two gambit individuals, right? For AIKOU, we had said that he is not confrontational. He's a very, very subtle player. His approach is very, very tactical. Whilst FLORA, on the other hand, is very confrontational, very blunt, and very, very vocal, unlike AIKOU. So they've got this very, contrasting personalities. And whilst one is louder when aggravated, the other is rarely aggravated. And overall, a very, very calm-spirited person who applies calmness and tact in their approach, to their fellow housemates. So, another thing we also discussed during that conversation was that it might seem as though Big Brother is checking their personalities before issuing them missions, to execute for the week. And we were right, because all the missions that we've seen them, execute so far, it's just been missions that completely suits their personalities in the house, and their styles of approach, their styles of execution rather, totally different. Yes. So today, during the diary sessions, when Big Brother had actually first issued AIKOU his mission, I was quite excited because it was something different, something unexpected, something refreshing, right? But then when FLORA had a diary session, I almost went berserk. I almost lost my mind because, guys, I was literally screaming like, Big Brother, what have you got up your sleeves? What the what the fuck? I was shocked. I was shocked because it was literally the same thing. It was literally the same instructions. And now, guys, I am thrilled because I want to see how these two individuals are going to execute their missions. And mind you, BIGGIE actually gave them the same mission. Once again, I'm saying it again, the same mission, the same directives on how to execute it. So now what's left is to see how they will approach it and execute it and achieve it. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited, all right? And listen, you have to watch this video to the end to get the full details of this new mission, all right? And aside the Gambit's mission, some of the housemates had their diary session today. Remember, it's usually now 3 days in the week for the diary session until the housemates are reduced probably to the number of 10 or less, yes. So, just like yesterday, we had more housemates had their diary session today, and it was quite interesting. Tammy had a diary session, said a lot, yapped a lot. As a matter of fact, it was hilarious. I was laughing so hard. We're going to talk about it. There was Sheba, and guys, so on and so forth. All right, so we're going to get into this video. I will spill all the juicy tea. Of course, I would love to hear your thoughts in the comment section below. So please go ahead and share. All right, and you're all especially welcome back to my channel. My name is Gloria Elijah. This is Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah, and I am the girl with the tea. And guys, I don't know if you can tell, I am super excited. Yes, because my microphone is back. Yes, my microphone is back. I have been straining my voice for the past 2 weeks, if I'm not mistaken. Yeah. See it. There's a lot of gist for you people, but don't worry, just wait. I'm going to do a proper sit down video when the season is over, when the show season is over, because a lot of crazy things have just been happening over here on the back end, and It's a lot. Don't worry. Once the show is over, I'm going to be doing a sit-down video where I get to spill on the many weird things that was just happening over here. But yeah, I'm super excited. My microphone is back and we've got more clarity, yes, to my voice. Woo, super excited. But anyways, without yapping any further, let's just dive right into the details of this video. Okay, so first, beginning with Temi Nkem's diary session. Ladies and gentlemen, we all know that Temi's diary session is always a yapping session. So she had a lot to yap about. And it just made more sense why the animal that she's representing for the week is a parrot. Because she was talking and talking and talking. But anyways, that aside, she literally ran into trouble with Big Brother. Because, you know, with her UK accent, yeah? She's fond of saying to Big Brother, you're rude, you know? And she did that again today. And Big Brother did not like it. So Big Brother had asked her, what do you mean? Because this is the third time this season you're going to be calling Big Brother rude. What do you mean? She kept on like, oh, no, you're not rude. You're not rude. She was trying to do all that playful nonsense. And Big Brother cautioned her and asked her again, sternly, what do you mean? And then she now said, oh, it just means that you're very, very stern. It just means that you're very, very serious. So Big Brother warned her that that should be the last time that she would call him rude again. And she had apologized. Now, on to the business of nominations. She said she had actually found it weird that the agreement they had had during Conspiracy Hour was not as it was supposed to be during the face-to-face nominations they had had on Monday. That she was particularly shocked that Sheba, who had said she was going to save her, did not save her, but had instead given the save to Bluethopia, you know, on the grounds of, oh, she has a debt to repay or something, that she actually thought about it, but then again, she's not particularly mad at it. You know, that was her excuse. And ladies and gentlemen, I listened to Temi and I wonder if she really wasn't mad about it. We'll find out. We will find out. Anyways, moving on, there was Yusuf's diary session. Yusuf said that with regards to the nominations, he had noticed that there had been some sort of tension in the Godessa, Sheba, and Temi and Araga's camp, that they were all shocked that they did not necessarily save each other, you know, as they should have, save for one or two saves here and there, especially between Godessa and Araga, right? And just to not show the whole house that there's trouble in paradise, they've been trying to hide it, you know, so it doesn't really look like, oh, they have cracks in their relationship or in their alliance. But Araga is his friend and he has noticed it from Araga's countenance. And it just goes to show that most of the relationships in the house are not as deep as they make them seem to be. And I'm like, my brother, I agree with you, because Monday's nominations was really an eye-opener for a lot of the housemates. Now, quickly moving on to Sheba's diary session. Ladies and gentlemen, just as expected, about Tram, Sheba came into the diary room and was trying to twist the narrative of what had actually transpired between herself and Tram, was obviously on defense mode, defending herself and putting all the blame on Tram, talking about, oh, Tram said a lot of nasty things about her, that though she didn't hear most of them, that some people came to come and tell her that this is what Tram said, you know, she was just going on and on. And she just felt very sad because she thought they actually had something good going on, but she doesn't even know what she did to him. That why would he do that? You know, the guy just flipped. That Big Brother literally put her in trouble with his nomination style on Monday. That why would Big Brother even do that? And she was just going on and on. And as I said, she was putting all the blame on Tram. And then Big Brother went on to ask her, you know, that obviously Tram is hurt. Don't you think that for the fact that both of you are friends, I'm paraphrasing now, right? That don't you think for the fact that both of you are friends, you sort of took him unawares by not saving him? And she was like, Big Brother, at least he could have just come and have a conversation with me. He should have come to me. There's nothing dialogue cannot solve. Why is he going to go and have a meeting with other people to talk about me? You know, she wasn't seeing anything wrong in what she did. And then Big Brother went on to ask her, that, okay, at least he saved you, but you did not save him. And for someone who you call your friend, don't you think that he has every right to be upset? Don't you think he has every right to be hurt? And then she now thought about it for a bit and said, but why is Tram not coming to come and apologize to her for all the things that he said about her? Why is he not coming to apologize? And I love the fact that Big Brother did not let her have her way. Because at some point, she was accusing Big Brother of not taking a side. She was like, oh, Big Brother, whose side are you even on? Whose side are you on? She did not want to accept her fault. So grudgingly, she had no choice but to accept. And then she told Big Brother that she was going to call for a chat, with Tram. And then she's going to apologize to him. She's going to explain her reason for not saving him and try to see how she can make amends. And if after that conversation, he decides to not be friends with her anymore, then she doesn't know what else she will be able to do. And Big Brother had to tell her that, well, remember, that a wolf can be quite complicated. So it might seem as though you will need all the luck in the world. And you see, I totally understood what Big Brother was trying to say. Because Tram has been really upset since Monday evening. And the fact that he had actually approached Sheba just to see if she's going to own up to what she did. And she, with her attitude, she sort of gave him the middle finger, not wanting to take accountability for anything, making it look like she doesn't owe him any loyalties. That really aggravated him. Hence the reason he had gone on a venting and ranting spree since Monday evening. So Sheba not wanting to take accountability, I just love the fact that Big Brother kept on pointing out her wrongs to her. And then finally, the mature Sheba that we are familiar with, came out and she said, okay, that she actually sees where she has gone wrong, that she doesn't want to be one of those people who instead of taking accountability for their actions, will rather be on the defensive because she perceives that is exactly what she was doing at that point in time. So I am patiently waiting to see when and if that conversation is going to happen. I want to see if Tram is going to back down, from his dirty games that he has vowed to play against Sheba, because Tram is really upset. And he was all the more aggravated last night and this morning because of the way Sheba was talking to him indirectly and calling him a coward, still not wanting to accept her wrongs. So as I said, I am waiting to see when that conversation will happen and if at all it will happen. All right, so ladies and gentlemen, that is that. Now next was Nomi. Nomi had a diary session and she seems to be in a lighter mood, yes. However, she had a lot to say about Bluthopia. Now, for her, she feels like Bluthopia is not loyal to Neche because the same girls who has been accused or who had been accused by Ebuka of saying a lot of nasty things about Neche, that led to Neche's voluntary exit, that Bluthopia has now formed an alliance with them, all because she wants to be saved during nominations. That is just acute fakery. Those are my words, not Nomi's words. That was just fake, that Bluthopia was not being loyal to Neche. Now, I listened to Nomi and I totally understood where she was coming from, because if I were to be in that house, not really knowing what exactly was happening on the outside, I would think the same way. However, I think I also understand Bluthopia's part. Because, ladies and gentlemen, first of all, before any friendship in Big Brother's house, there's the part of individualism where every single housemate walked into the house by themselves. They applied to be on the show by themselves. They got selected by themselves. They walked into the house by themselves. They came into the house for their own goals. They came looking for something. And then friendships happened. Now, the fact that friendships happened does not mean that they are now going to abandon their focus and their goal and the game in itself just to prove loyalty to their so-called friend in the house. And not especially with a friend who has taken voluntary exit, who has left the show. I mean, come on. Neche has left the show for whatever reasons best known to her. Bluthopia is still in the house. What does Nomi expect her to do? Bluthopia still has to play the game. And as far as I'm concerned, I think what she's doing is a smart gameplay. Because at the end of the day, Barry, who is our only friend in the house by virtue of being in that same friendship circle with Neche, already has his two favorite people in the house, Aikou and Keivo. And I think he saved both of them during nominations. So Bluethopia is aware that she's on her own in that house. She doesn't really have a solid alliance. So why not? Why can't she join, even though they are the bad guys? Why can't she join them? Because at the end of the day, the game is the game. And I understand where Nomi is coming from perfectly, right? I see a point which is very valid. You know, I see the part where she believes in loyalty in friendship. I mean, we've talked about this before. She believes in very, very solid loyalty in friendships. Like if my friend is doing something for me, my friend should not do something, that same thing for somebody else. But the fact remains that it can't happen all the time in Big Brother's house because 160 million is at stake. Yeah. But ladies and gentlemen, let me know your thoughts about Nomi's perception of Bluethopia. Share in the comment section below. Now moving on to Aikou's diary session. Ladies and gentlemen, about the nominations on Monday, Aikou believes that it literally exposed the hypocrisy in the house in terms of the relationships and friendships and you name it, you know, all of those shenanigans in the house. And ladies and gentlemen, whatever Aikou said is true. I mean, we already know what it is. So we're just going to quickly move on to Big Brother's mission, the details of Big Brother's Gambit mission to Aikou. So the mission is that he is to convince Flora that he might be interested in her. According to Big Brother, he is to make her believe that his feelings are real. Now, he is to find the right moment to get closer to her. He is to show his interest and build enough of the ability for her to believe that, you know, he is definitely developing romantic feelings for her. He must not reveal that it is a Gambit mission. He must make it as real as possible. He must make it believable. And she must believe that his feelings are real. Ladies and gentlemen, we're not babies here. We understand what that means. Seduce this girl. Use your oratorial prowess or whatever it is you have, your charm, whatever it is that makes you fake as a romantic man. Use it. Use all of it to woo Flora. Ladies and gentlemen, Flora of all people. Woo Flora. Now, another reason I find this mission exciting, I already stated my first reason at the start of this video, but another reason I find it quite exciting is because of Aikou's personality. Aikou is a very, in a way, timid. He's not shy, but sort of timid individual. And just as I expected, he was sort of contesting it. He was telling Big Brother that he doesn't think he'll be able to do it, you know, because it just feels like it might be hypocritical of him. Now, there was something he said. He said he feels like he's going to be leading her on. And he says that once the mission is complete, he feels like he'll be left to handle the consequences. As there's going to be the trauma, you know, the trauma of having played with someone's emotions, because that's an emotional game. What if she falls in love with him? And then at the end of the day, the mission is over and he's supposed to leave her high and dry. He's going to be feeling guilty about it. So he was just laying out a lot of complaints. And Biggie tried to cheer him up by saying that, hey, who knows? You just might fall in love with her as well. And Aikou immediately, you know, rejected it that no, he already has a lover. He has somebody that he's already in love with. He has somebody that is deeply into outside the house. Remember his Egyptian girlfriend? Yes. The one that made him come on the show to win the money? Yes. Unfortunately, he's not in the competition for winning the money anymore. Yeah, he said he already has somebody that he's interested in on the outside, you know, but it just feels like it's going to be playing with someone's emotions. And then Big Brother said to him, are you over exaggerating your ability? Why do you even think she will fall in love with you? And for me, I felt like that was a really valid question, because we're talking about Flora. We are talking about Flora here. And ladies and gentlemen, when people asked him that question, he said, well, because some years ago, he actually read the book, The Art of Seduction, and he started practicing it and he got results. basically what he was trying to explain. So he believes in his ability to execute the task to perfection. And people that said, okay, fine, explore. Like, this might be your chance to actually get out of your shell and do something different. So ladies and gentlemen, I cannot wait to see how this pans out, because as I already informed you, Flora has been given the exact same mission with the exact same directives on how to go about it. And unlike Aikou, she wasn't complaining or anything. She was just laughing like, Aikou. Because, of course, unlike most of the guys in the house, Aikou is not that guy that chases after women. Aikou has never really indicated interest in any female in the house. Aikou is Aikou in the world of his own, you know, just doing his own thing. So she's now thinking about, you know, the thing is in itself, trying to woo Aikou. Will it even work? And people that told her, go for it. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm super excited about this one because I cannot wait to see how it pans out. It's going to be quite exciting. Really exciting. I cannot wait to see who will win. And in a way, I kind of feel like, this is just a very strong speculation, I kind of feel like they will both eventually find out that they are both the Gambits, depending on how they go about it. Aikou is very smart. He's very, very intuitive. He has a very, very strong intuition. His spider senses are very, very active. So I have a strong feeling that depending on how Flora handles it, he might catch her and know that, hey, hold on a second. This girl is actually trying to do the same thing I'm trying to do to her to me. He might find out. Yeah. And Flora is quite smart as well. I mean, not to downplay her smartness or intelligence, but I believe as well that she might also find out that Aikou is a Gambit, depending on how they both go about it. And you see that moment of realization? If it does happen, I want to be a part of it. I want to see it live and direct. I want to see how it pans out. So ladies and gentlemen, I'm all for it. I'm super excited. Yes. When she had been asked about the nominations, she was quite sad and she felt betrayed by Bells. And she said she had taken a vow that she would never, ever save Bells, because Bells is not a good person. The fact that Bells will abandon herself and Oyin during nominations and go ahead to save Yusuf and Ricky, then it means that they've just been calling each other friends, but there's no depth to their friendship. And according to her, she's just been ignoring Bells. Bells is no longer a friend as far as she's concerned. And Bells has been trying to come close, trying to talk to her, but she's just been ignoring the girl. And ladies and gentlemen, to be quite honest with all of you, I do not blame either of them. Their feelings are valid, but I also do not blame Bells. Because for every time they've had conspiracy hour, Oyi and Flora have made it clear that they are saving one another. You know, especially Flora. If she has just one vote, she's definitely saving Oyin. You know, and that had made Bells feel really bad for the past 2 weeks. So her now trying to secure her own alliance with her boyfriend and her bestie, Ricky, I don't blame her. Because at the end of the day, just like we always say here, the game is the game. And people need to survive. So ladies and gentlemen, that is all for this video. Thank you all so much for watching. I'll see you all on another episode of Frankly Speaking with Gloria Elijah. Enjoy the rest of your evening. Have an amazing one. Bye.